everyone, it's Krista and welcome to my channel. Today is Thursday, so it is my third day of the Christmas, 12 days of Christmas, and also Punched Out Thursday to Die For. So I incorporated them together. And what I used here is I used a Christmas die that I purchased at Hobby Lobby, which is a shaker pocket. So it's a Christmas tree and it's super cute. And of course, if you know me, you know I love my mixed media, so I am going to start my layout with a white foundation paper by Vicki Boutin, and I'm going to put clear gesso over it so that I'm getting it prepped and it works like a sealant for any type of mixed media that I'm going to do on it. So now this is new to me. I got this in my Hip Kit Club kit, and it is a powder, and it's by Nuvo, and it is Jade Fountain, it's called. And this stuff is kind of creamy. And you can make it as light or as dark as you want when you add water to it. I chose to do it with the packaging technique, but as you can see, it kind of wasn't spreading very well. So I added more water, and see how the water just kind of floats on top with the color. That's the gesso working there. So what I did is I just kind of switched it around a little bit where I wanted it, and then I just dabbed it up with my paper towel because I didn't want a lot of color. I just wanted a little bit of the green showing in my background. So what I'm doing is the other side, because my picture's going to kind of go in the middle area, so I'm not going to put any watercolor there. And I'm just kind of working with it with my brush and some water and the packaging technique. And now I did a little bit up top here as well, because you'll see in a minute I'm going to put some pattern papers on this as well. And I'm just dabbing it up. And that is the beauty of using gesso, guys. Always use gesso whenever you're going to do any type of mixed media. That is my top note for the day. So now what I'm doing is I'm using my Hip Kit Club kit that I got for Christmas, our Christmas kit. And I'm using this paper here. Now, these are exclusive papers that come in the kit, so you can only find these in the Hip Kit Club kits. And the collection is by Kim and Kimberly, and they're super cute. This is my best collection I've ever gotten so far from the Hip Kit Club. I mean, I love all the collections, but this one is one of my favorites. So what I'm doing is I'm ripping the papers, as I always tend to do. When it comes to pattern papers, I like tearing them. I don't know why. I just love it. And I love the rough look. So I am tearing into them. And you saw what I just did. I'm going to kind of put them up top there together. So this one has a bulbs on it. And it also, Christmas bulbs. And it also has some like leaves and holly leaves and things like that on there. So I wanted to incorporate that on my page. And then the other one is presents, all different sorts of packages and presents in different colors. So I decided to use that one as well because I'm using a Christmas tree as my focal point on my layout. So I figured these two papers were perfect. And they also happen to have the colors that I was looking for, that green and the yellowish gold color, and also the red, which are the traditional Christmas colors, right? So that's how it's going to go. And I just basically used my distress tool to distress the edges of the papers. And I kind of folded them up a little bit with my fingers. And that's it. Now I'm going to tape them together. And then I'm going to use, and then I'm going to tape them down on my paper like that. All together and nice. And then you're going to see me assemble that shaker pocket die cut that I got. And it's super cute. I am terrible, though, with shaker pockets. I don't know why, but I always get glue all over the acetate paper. I get glue all over my fingers. I'm just not good with them. I don't know why. But I ended up getting it, and I just made sure I had lots of baby wipes with me to wipe up my gloppy glue mess that I make on them. So next, I'm going to first, I backed my photo with a couple of the pattern papers that came in the collection as well. And now I'm going to pop it up with some craft foam. And the photo is a photo of all my kids when they were very young, except my oldest son. But they were all very young there. They were babies, just little babies. Now they're 8, 7, 2 6-year-olds, a 5-year-old, and of course my son, my oldest son, who is 18. So this was a picture a long time ago, but I just love this photo of them in front of the tree. So what I'm doing first is I'm gluing the acetate paper onto that main top piece. And then that's the bottom piece you see there. And I just put some craft foam around the edges to hold in my sequins. And then I glued the top right on top of it. Looks simple, but it did take me longer than you think. That's the magic of editing. So now what I decided to do is I decided to go in with my glue gun, and I wanted to use some of I have this mesh ribbon that I got at the Dollar Tree last year, and I wanted to use it on some of my layouts. I have green, gold, and red, and so I decided to use the red one on this one. And what I'm kind of doing is making like a little skirt on the bottom, basically, and I'm just using my glue gun, and I'm kind of making pleats on the bottom with my ribbon. And I just keep doing that all the way down. And I do have some of these really cool they're like little finger covers, I guess, for your fingers when you're using your glue gun so you don't burn your fingers. Because that's another thing I do. I burn my fingers with the glue gun all the time. So that's why you see me wearing Band-Aids a lot. But I also have psoriasis on my fingers. So in the wintertime, my fingers, they like to crack open just out of nowhere. So I have to keep lotion on them a lot. And I also keep a lot of aloe on my hands because my fingers just tend to crack out of nowhere because of my psoriasis. So, but I'm sure you guys didn't want to hear about that. But anyways, that's why you see me with Band-Aids on my fingers sometimes when I'm doing my layout. So now you know why. So what I'm doing here is my skirt's all done, and I didn't cut the excess off yet because I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with the bottom part of it. So now I'm coming in with some of the exclusive die cuts that we got in our Hip Kit Club kit as well. We got acetate pieces, which are super cool. Love them. There are presents and all these really cool things in there. And then we also got these die cuts with the Santa Claus and some Christmas trees, and these are all exclusive of part of the collection that we got for Christmas, and I added some of those in, and then I also brought in some of my own stash that I had. I had these really cool Christmas presents that are like little plastic pieces that I decided to put on there as well. But first I'm going to glue down my shaker pocket piece, and those sequins that I put in there, forgot to mention, that was a sequence mix that I've had for a long time. And it's just a Christmas mix that I got from Spiegel Scraps. So if you're interested, they always have a good Christmas mix that you could purchase through them as well. And now I'm just gluing, I had my hot glue gun out, so I decided to use that to glue down these little plastic present pieces that I had. And then I'm going to pop up my Christmas tree, my Santa, my other Christmas tree, and then I'm going to glue down those little acetate presents that you see there. You see one on the left-hand side near Santa, and I also have a green one that I'm going to use on this side next to this Christmas tree as well. So basically what I did at the bottom is I made my own little tree skirt for my Christmas trees to go underneath with my presents. And now I'm gluing on this really cute, I had these gold stars, so I decided to put that at the top of my tree. And now I'm going to glue Santa down. I popped him up as well on some craft foam. And now I'm going to pop up the other Christmas tree on some craft foam. While I am doing all that, though, I want to remind you all not to forget to check out the other ladies who are also doing the 12 Days of Christmas. I will have their links down below, and I'm also going to have the links down below to everyone who is in Punched Out Thursdays to Die For as well. So you could check them out and see what they're doing. And I'm sure they're going to incorporate theirs together as well, because the ladies who do Punched Out Thursdays to Die For are also doing the 12 Days of Christmas. So I will have all their links down below, though, so you could check out and see what they're doing. And then what also came in with the die cut Christmas tree, they had these little candy cane die cuts that you could decorate your tree with. So I decided to use the candy cane one. They had a bulb one in there too, but I didn't use the bulb one. I just used the candy cane one because I wanted to do something else with the Christmas tree with some bulbs that I had. So I just glued on those little candy canes as well. So I also die cut those out. And now I'm going to glue on my acetate pieces that you see there. That one's green and the other one's red that I did on the other side. And now I'm also going to use this die cut banner that we got in the kit that says Merry Xmas. I think it's so cute. I wish we got more of these banners because I really love them. And I love using them on layouts. I just think they give the layout such a cute touch to it, especially on festive holidays and things like that. But I used it on this one. So I'm popping it up with some of my little square foam dots that I have, just so that it kind of sticks out a little bit on my layout. And you see how pretty the color came out with that color that I used, the Nuvo powder. I like it. I ended up really liking it, and I may get more. So I've never tried it before, and I tried it, and I love the lightness of it on the layout, and it just brought this like marble-ish look to it. I don't know, I can't explain it, and a shine to it, and I really, really like it a lot. So you guys might want to try it out. So now I'm just gluing those down, my little banners up there. And I'm also going to add, now this I got a while back at Tuesday Morning. It's Pebbles. They had these really cute Christmas thickers. And I'm just putting these little holly on each end of them just to kind of decorate them up a little bit. And now we got a lot of these thickers in our kit as well. So I got this one that has a lot of words and sayings on it for Christmas. And this one says, "'Tis the season," so I put that underneath my photo. And then I used this little bow that was in my stash. I thought that would be cute underneath with my little, whatever you want to call that, mesh. It's a mesh ribbon that is underneath there that I made. And I just stuck it in the middle there of my picture with some glue dots so it would stay. And now I decided to cut it off. I was going to just wrap it around and glue it on the other side, but I kind of wanted it to not be like down so flat. So I decided to cut it off. And I like that I cut it off. So I was happy with that decision. So I just trimmed it off the edges. And that's that. And then I'll just use that scrap piece for something else. One of my other layouts. And I like the way that looks. And now, what am I doing now? Yes. So now I decided to use, I had this thicker sheet also that I got at Hobby Lobby a long time ago. It has these bulbs on it, Christmas bulbs, but I decided not to use the bulbs. I decided to use the enamel, they're like little gems. And I decided to use those on my Christmas tree instead. And then I also got this Jolly Holly at Tuesday Morning sticker book. And I found one that says ho, 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 so I put that there, Santa. And now I'm just going to finish it off with some enamel dots. And that is it. That is the layout. So I hope you guys like it. This came together really quickly, and I really like it a lot. I do like the Nuvo color that I used. I keep forgetting the name of it. Jade Fountain. And it's Nuvo, and it's a powder. So if you guys are interested in trying it out. So I really like the way it turned out. And I hope you guys like it too. And here are your close-ups. And like I said, I will have everyone's links down below. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, I would love to have you. Just hit that red subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the bell so you get notified every time I post a new video. So I want to thank you guys all for watching. And I will see you again tomorrow with another layout for Mixed Media Frenzy and the 12 Days of Christmas. Bye. And remember, stay crafty.